Alright, this is Andrew with Go to Home Inspections. We're doing a sewer scope today here in Salt Lake. Today is March 15th, 2023. We're at 1229 Garnette Street. We have the camera pushed out 96 feet to the city connection. Now we're going to pull it back and record it and see what we find. So, this first connection point is called the nose on. That's where it goes from your lateral line into the main city line. Looks like it comes in right at the bottom. Ideally, you want your lateral line to pop into the top of the pipe for a couple reasons. If there's any issues with grade in the future, you have a little more wiggle room to drop it down lower at the street to try to catch that grade. So I'll be paying attention to the grade here. And then the second thing is when it's at the very bottom of the city line, if the city line backs up, it's going to back into your line a lot easier. So not necessarily wrong, but there are benefits of it being higher. Trying to figure out what this white substance is. I don't commonly see any white coating like that. A little bit of an offset where the pipes have slipped a little bit and it creates a lip. Not so much on the bottom, which is good, but on the top, especially as we pull away, you can see there's a little lip. Another one there. When you have an offset like that, waste is more likely to get caught on it, and if enough waste gets caught, it can create a backup. Looks like a handful of offsets here. I think this is clay pipe. Slowing down to look at that line on the side of the pipe. I can't tell if it's a crack or if it's just buildup. It looks like whatever that is built up on the top of the pipe is kind of ending at that point, and that's what's causing that line, but it doesn't necessarily look like a crack to me, which is good. No standing water so far, which is great. That indicates proper grade for this area, which is what you want. You never want to see standing water. I've not seen any roots in the line so far, which is good. There's one right there. Coming through a joint. Real small. You want to clean roots out before they get too big, otherwise waste can get stuck and that can lead to a blockage or a backup. Here's a good example of the color of that clay pipe. I always look for that red terracotta color. This line has a little bit of buildup, so it's harder to see that red color, but based on that little lip right there, I'm pretty positive this is a clay pipe. You have a wet wipe stuck in the line. You want to avoid putting wet wipes down the line where they can get stuck, especially with an older line. They're not as smooth as new plastic lines. I would definitely recommend getting the insurance on this line. That way, if and when it is time to replace the line, they can help offset that cost. You can get it through HomeServe. I think it's well worth the money. That looks like a sewer access point, so probably somewhere outside you have an access point. I didn't see one, and so it's likely buried. A drain company could locate it, and that would then they could dig it up rather, if they ever needed to. Pretty good size offset here. I think this offset is causing it to hold a little bit of water. And it looks like it actually extends past the offset. And so I don't think that it's necessarily the offset causing it to hold water. I think it's a little bit of a flat spot on the pipe. And so there's two issues here. It's flat, and so that's going to allow waste to build up, and that can create a blockage. And then also you have this offset where waste can hit this lip and then get stuck, and that can also cause a blockage. So I can feel as I push my camera down the line, it kind of gets stuck before it hops over that little offset. So far from the worst that I've seen, but it's definitely not ideal. Some roots coming through the joint here. You could consider having those cleaned out now proactively so that they don't catch waste and create a blockage. I'm going to run a little water to help clear my camera head off. Just remembered that the basement kitchen, or the basement bathroom drain is not connected, so when I turned that on, it started splashing out under the cabinet. So I'll wipe that off, but that's why we're not seeing water drain through here. More roots. I'm going to go upstairs and flush the toilet to help clear the camera head off. There we go, that helped. You can see more roots kind of crawling down the line there through that joint. They're not huge. They are kind of long. Sometimes roots bulge up just right next to the joint, and sometimes they kind of creep down the line like these ones are. In either case, they can catch debris and create a blockage. I'm accessing this line in the basement bathroom. I pulled the toilet to be able to access the line. This is a part 2. I did scope the line through the roof stack. Ooh, there's a big root. You want to have that cleaned out now. That one's definitely big enough to warrant having it cleaned. And now we're also transitioning to cast iron. Once it's cleaned, you want to have it looked at again. That way you can see areas that I can't see as well. Also, pretty good size offset. You can see where the pipes don't quite line up. You want them to line up so that waste isn't hitting that wall and creating a blockage. This is cast iron. As you can see on the screen, cast iron gets really rough and rusty. It will eventually need to be replaced, and so another reason to maintain insurance on the line. Looks like the side of the pipe has a little bit of a crack. It's hard to know whether that goes all the way through and how big of a concern it might be. Again, don't put wet wipes down the line. They can get stuck, and just like that one has, no feminine hygiene products down the line. I'm wondering, so that pipe there could be coming down from the roof stack. So I'm I'm curious if when I came down the stack, so some houses will have a 90 at the bottom of the stack, which if that was going up to the stack, it's possible that my camera went the wrong way and went towards the toilet. I did see waste swirling around, and then there was something I got caught up on that I wasn't going through. So it's possible that I was seeing this point here and wasn't able to push my camera any further. There was standing water, a lot more than the tiny bit of standing water we're seeing here. And so my guess is that I went the proper way, and either there's a section of pipe that we're not seeing between the roof stack and this line, or the other possibility is that where that offset and rusty spot is in the cast iron, that might have been holding more waste, and once I pushed my camera through, it's possible that I broke some of that waste free and it was able to drain out. I'll probably scope again through the roof stack now that we know that that's clear, and see what else I can see, and I'll probably do it with the toilet off so that I am confident on what way my camera is getting pushed out. I'm going to end this recording now.